guys, welcome back to Sabers Forever. I'm John, and today we're going to be going over an 89Sabers Leia. This thing is loud, it's bright, it's lightweight, and it's a thin neck, so what's not to like? I guess, nothing, right? So without further ado, why don't we just jump right in, and I'll show you exactly what's going on. Alright, so here is the 89Sabers Leia. Not 100% sure exactly the title of the hilt, but I do know that this is the one that's seen in episode 9 that Luke gives to Rey, and we get to see Leia using briefly in the trading sequence in episode 9. So, pretty cool. I really like this saber. I think that 89Sabers did an absolutely beautiful job on the finish. There's real mother-of-pearl inlay on the switch and in the grip. And right over here, these accent pieces. The emitter looks absolutely stunning, and the saber design overall is totally stellar. The switch is spring-loaded, so it has a really nice feel to it. But right now the saber's not on, and it's even easier to turn it off and on and save power and such, so you just unscrew the pommel. The saber is multiple pieces, but I thread-locked everything that was important to thread lock that wouldn't get in the way should this saber need to be upgraded or have any maintenance done. So thread locked here, thread locked with the neck section all together, but this area here, this unscrews still. It's very tight, but this can open to get access to all the wires inside for the switch and the NeoPixel connector and the 6-pin rotary connector male side on the inside of the saber. So just be aware if you're using the saber that this is not locked in. This whole aluminum section will come off of this copper section here. And it is copper anodizing, so don't think that if it gets dinged it's going to be copper underneath. It is not. But that being said, the chassis is like really tight in there. But in order to get access, I just bang my hand against my wrist or my palm like that, while holding onto the saber, and the momentum of the saber stopping actually will pop the chassis out. And just be aware that it's going to pop out, so be careful. You don't want it to go flying. There's no wires. So you have a 6-pin rotary connector that makes contact with the male side on this side. So that rotary connector connects on the inside, giving you access to the switch and everything. But you have your Proffi V2.2, an 18650 3.7 volt high amp drain battery for NeoPixel setup. You have your off-on switch, your 28mm bass speaker, and your battery. The positive side goes towards the kill switch, while the negative flat side goes up towards the emitter or the 6-pin rotary connector. Now, you can rotate the battery underneath, and you'll be able to see the sticker. So if you don't see the positive, which should be a big thumbs up for you to know that you did it the right way, is that the positive, needs to be down. So your nipple goes to your nipple on this side, and your flat side of the battery goes on the finger side. So nipple to nipple always. Doesn't matter which way the label is facing, but I think it's a pretty good indicator to know you did it the right way if you get a good old positive thumbs up, which is you can see underneath the soundboard. So, alright, to turn the saber on,
somehow I've always known.
Just flip the switch to the right. It doesn't matter which way this goes in, it can go any way you like. Just push it in until the speaker is flush with the bottom, and then use the little spacer to push it in the rest of the way. Put your pommel on, and you are good to go. So now you can power on the saber by tapping the power button. Lights up, looks absolutely beautiful, very loud saber. That booster at the bottom just makes it have the most amazing resonance chamber. And then to turn it off, you would hold the power until it shuts off. You can also gesture the saber on, which will not put it into battle mode. It's too much and very unnecessary for a lot of people, so I don't include that anymore. But you would turn the saber on by twisting, and you can also turn the saber off by twisting. So
Low battery.
Of course, I have a low battery during the video. So I'll go over the other controls later, but essentially to save battery, you're going to turn the saber off, and there's no deep sleep for Proffieboard. So if you just want to make sure that the battery stays charged longer when you're not using it, just hit the kill switch. You're good to go. You can see how easy that is just to operate. The saber has the ability to play music. It has the ability for blasters and lockup. And I'll be sending this saber with a printed out instruction guide for how to operate a single button saber using the FET263 button commands. This saber is jam-packed with a bunch of fonts, and in order to, I guess I should go over this too, in order to get the blade plug out and put the blade in, there's actually 3 blade retention screws in the emitter all the way around. Now, you don't have to use them all, but that's not to say that while you're using it, if it's not snug against the blade, that it won't fly out. So if you want to keep all your screws, I would just use them all the time, even if they're just lightly depressed against the blade. Here is the blade plug, very nicely thought out. I love that. And then the blade has a rotary connector as well, which you can see. And the blade just goes in like so. Oh yeah, you're going to want to, I'm glad I'm doing this. The diameter of the blade plug is a little bit smaller than the diameter of the blade. So actually, some of these need to be moved out further than you would think than if it was just loose for that. So make sure there's no screws protruding on the inside. Make sure that the blade goes in nice and flush, and keep it depressed while you tighten at least the first screw. So then, boop. All right. I'm just going to do one for the video, but you're going to want to go around and tighten each one, and that'll turn the blade on. It'll work now. So essentially, you know, the only annoying thing about this saber is that it's got 3 blade retention screws, but honestly, it's kind of a good thing, because you know your blade's not going to go anywhere. And it just looks, you know, having the symmetry is definitely better. So for the blade, I never really tighten these down or the blade plug, I never tighten these screws down very much. Because the diameter is a little bit bigger on the blade, you'll have to obviously screw them in a little bit further once you take the blade out. But that pretty much does it for this saber. I mean, it showed off everything, I think. If there's anything that you have any confusion about, or if you want to ask any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. So let's just wrap this video up here. Alright guys, that does it for this video. If you like what you see and you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe for more content featuring absolutely amazing lightsabers just like this one. I mean, it's so easy these days to just get access, not worry about wires. They're so bright, the sound is unbelievable, the motion tracking even better. So, you know, it's worth it to show your friends and watch them experience the actual lightsaber in their hands, because the tech is just so cool these days. Thanks again for checking out the channel. If you're looking for a lightsaber, just reach out at john@sabersforever.com. I'll be more than happy to get back to you with any recommendations or, you know, a quote for an install on a saber that you have, whatever it may be. I'm here for you. And I just want to say thank you to everyone. The work has been more consistent than ever, and it's just getting stronger every day. I have a wait queue now, which sucks, but it's not very long. It's about a month, you know. So you send me a saber, gotta wait a little bit, but it's not a year. So that being said, thanks for checking out the video. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you next time.